Go ahead.
Hello, I am Maria Paula and I'm going to talk about alternative sources of energies. So, I don't know if you remember the blackout of the 90s with the Gaviria Hour. In 1993, in the 90s, it was a blackout in Colombia in about 13 hours because the hydrothermal plant that provides the electrical energy dries out and it has no water, so it cannot produce electrical energy. So Gaviria, who was the president at that time, creates the Gaviria hour. So the people has to use the sunlight because they work for 13 months energy rations. So it was a tough moment. And it happens because of the El Niño phenomenon. And it is a climate phenomenon that occurs because of the global warming effect. And this global warming effect is the principal problem of the current energies that we use right now. So first we have to understand the real problem of the current energies in order to give alternative to these problems and came up with the alternative energies. So, in first place we have the nuclear energy, which has no pollution, but it has a bigger problem. It provides about 13% of the electricity in the world, and it is expensive, but you can also generate a big amount of electrical energy. But the problem with this energy is that it's really, really dangerous because of the radioactivity levels that it can cause. So we have Chernobyl as a disaster, and we have most recently Fukushima's disasters in the nuclear plant. And some countries, like Germany, decide to close all their nuclear plants and replace it by renewable energies such as solar energy or wind power energy. So then we have the fossil energies, which are not renewable energies, and this happens because they were formed long time ago by biological process. So if we want new reserves of oil or something like that, we should wait billions of years to have petroleum again. So in these fossil energies we have oil, coal and natural gas, and this is the principal sources that we use right now. The oil, the projections of oil says that it is running out in 40 years. The produce of petroleum is not going to be the same that it's right now, and it's not going to be enough for the people at that time. And then we have coal and natural gas. But the bigger problem with these fossil energies is that they cause carbon dioxide, which is a greenhouse gas, and it produces the global warming effect. So this is a sketch of what happens. And this is disasters that we can see for our current energies. This is Fukushima disasters, this is the spill of Mexico's Gulf, there is El Niño, the melting of the ice, Chernobyl, and then we have La Niña. So as a solution, some people came up with lots of ideas. And we have the solar power energy, which is really, really good because the sun energy is free. But the technology that we use for use the solar energy isn't. The lifespan is between 13 and 40 years, and it has no pollution, but it is an expensive technology. So not everyone can afford to have this type of technology. And then we have the wind power energy. But the problem with this is that you need a windy place, otherwise if you don't have wind then it will not work. And you need large numbers of wind generators to create a considerable amount of electrical energy that you can use. that could be a disadvantage. We have the geothermal energy, which is basically the heat from the air, but this one only works in some certain places. Not everyone can have geothermal energy, and you cannot transport this type of energy. And we have hydrogen fuel cells, which can be really, really good, and I'm actually working on these type of cells. And the idea is to separate the hydrogen, and as a product of this thing, you can create water. So you can use the hydrogen as a fuel instead of petroleum or something like that. And the best solution right now is the carbon capture and storage. This is the best solution, I think, because we can still using fossil energies, but we can supprime the big problem, which is the carbon dioxide, which goes to the atmosphere and produce the greenhouse effect. So if you capture this dioxide carbon and then storage and do whatever you want, some people are talking about inject it in the seabed. That's not bad for the environment. So you can actually have a good type of energy, and it will be clean and there will be no pollution. So it will be so you should have to combine the alternative energies with maybe this type of solution and all these things to have better energies and less pollution in the world.
Which alternative do you think it's more you can apply it in Colombia?
In Colombia you can use solar and wind energy, and we have also the hydrothermic energy. And in Colombia we have some parts that are very, very sunny and others that are very, very windy. So you can combine those energies, and we are not a big number of people, so it could be worse. It works for Germans. We use it.
We didn't hear you. You were just talking to her. We wanted to hear your answer.
In Colombia, you can use solar power energy and wind, and wind power energy, because we have some places that are very, very sunny, those giants, and other that are very windy, like I think in La Guajira, they have some windy power things. So you can combine the two of them to produce the energy that we need.
Okay, thank you.